Thought she was leaving for a dream. She was just testing if I'd break. They say relationships are built on trust, but no one tells you what happens when that trust is weaponized against you. When the person you've shared your home, your bed, and your future with suddenly turns your love into a pop quiz from hell. I'm 28, living in Ohio, and I've never been the type to fall in love fast. But when I met Lacey, 26, a nurse with this warm laugh and a heart that I genuinely thought could never lie, I thought I had found the one. We were together for 3 years. We lived together for almost 2. We talked about marriage and kids, and had those long, late-night conversations about the kind of life we wanted to build. She wanted a small house near her hospital. I wanted a couple of rescue dogs. We even picked names for them once. I thought we were in sync. I thought we were solid. But I started noticing little shifts in her energy. Not the kind of dramatic red flags you can point to and say, there, that's when things started unraveling. No, it was more insidious. She'd sit next to me on the couch, but feel 1,000 miles away. Her eyes didn't sparkle when we laughed anymore. She scrolled her phone more often, always turning it slightly away from me when a message popped up. She started saying she was too tired for dinner, for date nights, for even talking sometimes. When I asked if everything was okay, she gave me that soft sigh and said work was just overwhelming. The hospital was understaffed. She was picking up double shifts. Nurses were quitting. She was emotionally drained. And I believed her. Of course I did. She's a nurse. It made sense. I didn't want to be the insecure boyfriend who grilled her every time she seemed distant. I figured she needed space and I gave it. I focused on supporting her, being the calm in her storm. What I didn't realize was that the storm wasn't real, it was manufactured. Then one night, she came home from a shift, tired, hair in a bun, keys tea. It was like I didn't even exist in the equation. No discussion. No, hey, what do you think? Just a fait accompli. She was going and I wasn't coming with her. But I didn't get angry. I didn't beg. I told her I was sad. Sure. But if this was something she needed to do, I wouldn't stand in her way. I said I was proud of her. That's when I saw it, that flicker of confusion. Like I'd missed a line in the script she was writing in her head. She nodded and mumbled something about needing to fill out relocation forms and disappeared into the bedroom. But over the next few days, things didn't sit right. She wouldn't show me the offer letter. She claimed she was waiting on onboarding paperwork, but couldn't name the hospital. Said she had a recruiter but never mentioned a name. Every answer was just vague enough to sound plausible, but just off enough to leave that gnawing sensation in my gut. And then came Courtney. Courtney is Lacey's best friend. The kind of friend who drinks too much wine and overshares every time she's within 6 feet of a couch. She came over one night, and we were all just hanging out, having some drinks, flipping through our phones. We were 3 drinks in when Courtney scrolled past something on TikTok and blurted, "Oh my God, this is just like that loyalty test thing Lacey was talking about." I froze. My stomach turned ice cold. Loyalty test. I asked as casually as I could. Courtney went pale. Wait, she didn't tell you? No, she hadn't. Turns out this whole Seattle job offer? It wasn't real. Lacey had seen a viral post. One of those relationship influencer videos about testing your partner's devotion by pretending to leave or break up just to see if they'll fight for you. And she'd decided to try it. On me. After 3 years together. After living together, planning a future, building a life. She faked a life-changing move just to see if I'd beg her to stay. I didn't lose my temper. I didn't scream or throw anything or even confront her the next morning. I brewed our coffee like nothing had changed and told her, "You know what? I've been thinking. Seattle's a big step, and I'm proud of you. If this is what you want, I'll help you however I can." She smiled, but I saw it. That brief pause. That flicker of doubt. I could see her wondering why I wasn't reacting the way she wanted. And that's when I started laying the groundwork. Bought a dozen large moving boxes, bubble wrap, packing tape, Sharpies. I dropped them off in the living room with a handwritten checklist titled Lacey's Big Move. She just stared at them, her mouth slightly open like she didn't know whether to laugh or panic. Then I took it public. I created a Facebook event, Lacey's goodbye dinner wishing her luck in Seattle. I invited all her coworkers from the hospital, her friends, her mom, even her cousin from 2 towns over. I called her favorite restaurant and reserved a private room for a Friday night. I ordered balloons, a custom cake that read, "Good luck in Seattle, Lacey." I even called ahead to make sure there'd be a spotlight over the table so we could make a toast. At home, I kept up the act. Every day I was supportive, encouraging, smiling. I'd walk in and say, "Babe, I just grabbed more packing tape." Or, "I found an article about adjusting to the Seattle weather." She, on the other hand, was unraveling. I could see it. She started asking me things like, "You don't think this is happening too fast, do you?" Or, "You think long distance could actually work for us?" I just nodded and said, "We'll figure it out. You've got to chase your dreams." By Thursday, she was pale, anxious. She barely touched dinner. And on Friday morning, I handed her an envelope with the printed U-Haul reservation and said, "I prepaid the truck. You can pick it up at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Figured it would save you the hassle." She stared at the paper like it was a death certificate. But she didn't stop it. She didn't tell the truth. She wanted a reaction. She got a room full of witnesses to her own humiliation. Friday night arrived, and with it came the storm she never expected. Lacey came out of the bedroom wearing a black dress. Simple, elegant, but completely mismatched with the anxiety written all over her face. She kept fixing her hair, adjusting the straps of her heels, asking me every 5 minutes if her lipstick looked okay. She wasn't excited. She wasn't radiant like someone celebrating a new chapter in life. She looked like someone standing in line for their own trial. But I just smiled. "You look perfect," I said, handing her the small envelope again with the truck rental details. "Just in case you misplaced the other copy." The restaurant had reserved the entire back room for us. Dim lighting, candles, decorations, and a massive sheet cake that said, "Good luck in Seattle, Lacey. Chase your dreams." Her mom was the first to arrive, teary-eyed and gushing about how proud she was. Her coworkers showed up in scrubs straight from the hospital. Friends from college came in with gift bags and little cards. People hugged her, congratulated her, asked where she was staying, what hospital she'd be working at, and every time someone asked a question she couldn't answer, I saw her fake a smile that looked more like a grimace. Her lies were suffocating her now, inch by inch. And then came the moment she couldn't escape. Halfway through the dinner, with everyone enjoying their food, I stood up, glass in hand, smile on my face, my voice calm, and even as I tapped the side of the glass and said, "If I can just have a minute, I'd like to say something." All eyes turned to me. Lacey froze. "Lacey," I began, and the room quieted to that kind of still you only hear in churches or courtrooms. "We've been together for 3 years. And while it breaks my heart that you're moving across the country, I want you to know how proud I am of you." She blinked fast, lips parted as if she wanted to stop me but couldn't fig. People odd. Some took out their phones to record. Lacey opened her mouth. "Guys, actually." But I cut her off sweetly. "Don't cry now, babe," I said, pulling her close and smiling. "You're being so brave." And then I handed her the envelope again, this time with flair. "Just a reminder, the U-Haul is confirmed for tomorrow morning. I reserved it under your name, 9 a.m. sharp. Figured it might help with the stress." She stared at it like it was ticking, and then snap. She pushed her chair back so hard it scraped against the tile. The whole room fell silent. "It was a test," she shouted. "I'm not going anywhere." Every eye in the room shifted to her, confused, shocked, silent. "What do you mean?" her mom asked slowly, blinking as if she hadn't heard her correctly. Lacey's voice cracked. I saw this video online. It said that if your partner really loves you, he'll fight for you. He'll beg you to stay. So I thought if I pretended to get a job far away, I'd know if he truly cared. I wanted to see if he'd break down and ask me not to go." The silence that followed was suffocating. Then someone, her cousin, I think, asked, "So the job? It's not real?" Lacey looked down. "No, there's no job in Seattle." I lied. That's when I stood. Calm. Not dramatic. Not angry. Just finished. Lacey, I said, my voice carrying across the stunned crowd. Love doesn't work like that. It's not some escape room challenge where your partner has to solve riddles to earn your affection. You don't fake a breakup to test commitment. You don't lie about a life-changing opportunity just to see how someone reacts. That's not love. That's manipulation. She looked at me like I'd stabbed her with words sharper than any blade. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't accusing. I was just stating the truth she refused to face. I turned to the crowd. Just so everyone's clear, there is no move. No new hospital. No promotion. Everything you were told was a lie designed to manipulate me into a dramedy. That night, I didn't go home. I packed a single duffel bag and crashed at my brother's place. He didn't need an explanation. Just handed me a beer and said, "Guest room's yours. Shower's hot. You want pizza or wings?" Lacey blew up my phone over the next few days. "You made me look crazy. You were supposed to fight for me, not expose me. Can we talk, please? I didn't think you'd go through with all that." Not once did she say sorry. Not once did she take accountability. Her concern wasn't the lie she told. It was the fact that I didn't play along. That I didn't give her the dramatic meltdown she was fishing for. That I turned her performance into a public disaster. I didn't respond. I blocked her on everything: phone, social media, email. But before I ghosted completely, I posted one last message to the Facebook event where everyone had RSVP'd. Update. Lacey will not be relocating to Seattle after all. Turns out the only role she was ever hired for was emotional manipulation. Unfortunately, that department has been shut down. No references given. The reactions were mixed. A few people messaged privately to say they were shocked, that they had no idea. Some said I should have handled it privately, but those people missed the point. She made the breakup public. She made the lie public. She made me public. So the only way to end it was in the same spotlight she demanded. I don't hate her. I genuinely think, deep down, she believed this test would prove something to her. That if I passed, she could finally feel safe. That love required drama to be validated. But that's not me. I don't do games. I don't do traps or puzzles or TikTok challenges masquerading as romance. I show up fully, honestly, and I expect the same. So yeah, that's how my 3-year relationship ended. With balloons, cake, and a spotlight. And now, whenever someone mentions loyalty tests or social media dating trends, I just laugh. Because I've already passed the only test that matters. Knowing when to